YouTube, Chris with Audio Obsession, back with another video. Today's video is going to be an update video. Basically my trip to a newfound record store that I managed to go to this weekend. Awesome place. But first, what we're listening to is a band from Italy. If you can hear it in the background, it's like the traditional riffy death metal. Kind of on the lines of like a Fulci, Dementia 13, this kind of metal. And the band name, Worstenemy. See if I can get it without the glare. And the album title is Revelation. Track titles. Nothing really much on the inside except some more track titles there. But yeah, really cool band. I came across them on Spotify. Just a recommendation, and I absolutely loved it. Like the bands that I mentioned that it reminds me of, just awesome, catchy, super catchy, riffy death metal with that traditional old school feel to it, nice and chunky and awesome. Check them out, Worstenemy. Okay, so as I was saying about this record store, so I'd say about last week, I was on Instagram and I was looking at somebody's post and people were commenting on it. And usually what catches my eye is when an Instagram account is like a record company, like a distributor or label, whatever. So I happened to see a name and it looked like a label or record store, so I clicked on the profile and sure enough it was a record store. And I'd seen a couple people that I knew that were following, even like labels like Redefining Darkness and whatever. So I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna start following. I ended up clicking on the link to go to the web page, and awesome. The list of the bands and the albums was absolutely incredible. And sure as shit, it's somewhat local to me because it's a record store in Toronto. So it was about an hour and a half or so, because it's like the northeast end of Toronto, so just further north from the downtown core. And I was blown away. This is an all metal record store. That's it. The place is called Futhark Records. And as you can see, I was with my purchase, I got a bag. Now, the bugger that owns the place threw in this free bag and told me the next time I come back, this thing carries a lot of records. It holds a lot of weight. And I'm like, oh, thanks, a new bag. And then I realized, oh, you bugger, I'm going to be coming back, you know it. And this ain't like the cheap bags that you get sometimes you get with records. Bands have little, with their name on it, whatever. The cheap, thin stuff. This is like a pair of jeans. It's so damn thick. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be able to load it up with some records. But, yeah, really cool. I'm glad I got it because I'm going to use it. And, yeah, the owner of this place was 100% knowledgeable. It's a small place, but the fact that this is the first time that I had set foot in metal-only record store. I've seen and heard about them other places. I know some places in the States, but me, where I am, I've got no access to stuff like that. So my access to metal is a small little metal section, and you're sifting between, The Offspring, Five Finger Death Punch, and Green Day. Like, they've got those lumped in there that you gotta kind of push out of the way, like that kind of bullshit. So to find a record store that deals solely in metal, I was in. So I spent the time driving to go check this place out, and I was floored. Like I said, it's a smaller place, but it's literally packed to the gills with everything that I listened to on the most killer underground labels and bands. A lot of my friends here on YouTube that are into the same stuff, that when we buy this, it's literally, like, for me especially, I'm buying it online only. So when I walked in, and what was really interesting was all the bins were set up in basically kind of divided by record label. So you weren't going alphabetical by band. You would pull out in front, okay, this is the Redefining Darkness section. Start sifting through. There was like $20 Spin, Everlasting Spew, like all these wicked underground labels. And yeah, it was like a kid in a candy store. Absolutely loved it. And I barely scratched the surface of what I'm planning on picking up. Now, mind you, I only got a handful because, I mean, that's all I could afford. The first two that I'm going to show you kind of took place of some new stuff that I could have got, but they were old classics that I needed to get fresh copies of. Mine are been well used. So, first off, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to get on to the first one that I got. I could not pass this one up. So, this is a 25th anniversary silver edition 490 of 500, and it is none other than To the Gory End, Cancer. Now this is a death metal classic. Anybody like me who was a teener okay, it's time for another one. Don't worry, it's just juice. Anyways, so anybody who was a teenager in the early 90s growing up listening to death metal, this was what was coming up. It was boiling. The death metal scene, for me, was just at a huge peak in the very early 90s, just literally boiling over, exploding with amazing. And this was new and fresh stuff at the time, so it was just mind-blowing. And this album is definitely part of that scene. Picture the guys there, the track list. So this one, on top of the original, has got 2 demos. And here is bonus tracks. I love this album. And I'm sure many of you that are into the old school stuff, I don't even have to describe it. You know exactly what this is. But nice represses, you know, lyrics. You got your thank you stuff and kind of like, you know, about the band type things. Collage pictures, the usual stuff. And nice polyline sleeve. And we got kind of a swirly silver. I don't know if you get the swirly in it, but that's pretty cool looking. Yeah, an absolute classic. I couldn't pass it up. I needed to get another copy, and why not? I can always go back, and I know I will. And this next one is another timely classic from the era a couple years earlier, and this would be Autopsy, Severed Survival. Now this, like I said, it's a classic. I don't even have to do much description. This album is awesome. And I really do like the old logo they had here with the bones and flesh on it. Don't get me wrong, their logo that transformed and became what it is today still is really cool, but I don't know. Something about it was just raw and, you know. Here we got picture of the band, your track listing, the typical stuff in here. And we got Peaceville giving another pamphlet of goodies, all the stuff that you can get. I love keeping these things with my records, especially when they get older and you look back at, you know, stuff you could get at the time. It's really cool. So here we got your collage. And on the back, your lyrics. And this one was just a black wax, so I'm not even gonna bother pulling it out. I'm sure you know what black looks like. But yeah, these two records right there, I could not pass them up. Could not pass them up. And they only had one left, and I thought, no, I'm just gonna do it. Because I want them. Okay, now this is another band that I had caught on Spotify that came up a while back now as a suggestion, and I freaking love them ever since, and that is Wraith. Absolute Power. So this is their 2019 album. Pretty cool artwork there. And this is an awesome band. Really, really cool. So these guys are, they're like your, speed thrash, basically. Hands down, no bullshit speed thrash. They've got this, the traditional, you know, the fist pumping heavy metal traditional riffs, except it's sped up to like thrash speed, basically. And really good. Every song is catchy. They got that, and I love the use of the traditional kind of heavy metal type sound with it. It gives it such an awesome sound to it. So we got a picture here, we got some lyrics, picture of the band. So to get an idea of the sound, these guys, to me, 100% have like a power trip flavor to them. It's like a power trip mixed with the band Midnight. So you get Midnight's kind of got that Venom-esque raw metal type sound, and then you've got your power trip, which is awesome riffy thrash, and that's exactly the kind of album you get. You know, with those two mixed, that's Wraith. Down to a T. So this one, they came out a nice purple vinyl. Label. And yeah, this was a nice surprise to see, because I've been wanting to get this album for quite some time, but it just never happened to come across yet. And the fact that I could, you know, walk into a store and just pick this album up was even better. And the next one, I had to get their follow-up, and that's Undo the Chains, their 2021 release. This is another killer album. Amazing stuff. Really, really cool. I absolutely love this band. Man, do they ever have some really catchy songs. And so this one came with like a booklet, and here we got Redefining Darkness. And so, yeah, we got a nice big ass collage back there, and really cool looking artwork with the lyrics. Some nice pretty colors. So yeah. Oh, and there. Let's see if I can get that straight. I can't even see. So a nice tiger stripe splatter. Really cool looking. Trying to see past the damn thing if I'm getting it straight or not. But yeah, really, really glad to have both these albums. Fantastic band. If you have not checked them out, do so. You will not be disappointed. Now, this last one, I had never heard of the band before. So this band is new to me. So it was a 100% blind buy. And at first, I had left the store with those records, went for lunch with my girlfriend, and then the entire time I kept thinking about this album cover, and I said, I gotta go back and get it. I don't care what it sounds like, the album cover drew me in. And the band is Vicious Knights. And the album title, which I forget already, Alteration Through Possession. Now this cover is so cool. It's kind of like a more demonic take on the Alice in Hell cover. Really, really cool. So this is a three-piece band from Greece. Track titles there. So these guys are like an 80s inspired black death thrash, but like a really traditional 80s inspired death thrash band. Really, really cool. So they are like a raw, it's got, like this album's got this adolescence feel to it. So, you know, like when you hear these old school bands and their first recordings were like this raw sound, and then, you know, years later they got to learn how to use their instruments, and then you kind of went, now it sounds too good, it's too polished. Well, this is the before the polishing type sound, and I love it. A raw, in your face, no frills sound to it. Really, really cool. So it came with a cool sticker, and I got a little postcard and Dying Victims Productions. And this one came with a couple goodies. Let's see if I got it all here. So it came with a poster. See if I can bring it back here. And, oh, lots of glare, lots of glare. Ah well, whatever, you get the idea. Poster of the band, looking all mean and shit. Fresh Pantene Pro V hair, out in the bush. And let's see, we got the inner, so another picture of the band. You got all your liner notes, thank you notes stuff, all your lyrics. And this one was a traditional black, nothing too fancy, and definitely nothing too fancy when I say only a one-sided label. So I'm not sure, like it's playable both sides, just one-sided label. Maybe this one just didn't get it, or they just thought, nah, we'll save money. You only need to know which side's A, because chances are you can figure out which side's B. I don't know. The only complaint I got about it was, now I don't know if it's just because there was only one label through, but the way it's pressed, it's almost like a dome shape now, where this is more indented, so to play side A, it's perfect. But to play side B, it's like, it's giving my tone arm a bloody workout. But whatever, it plays, so it's not like ripple warped or anything, it just gives the tone arm a workout. Whatever. Anyways, that is my video for today. So I'll leave a link, obviously, for the bands. I like to do like Bandcamp pages just because you can purchase directly from the labels, the bands, whatever. I'll even leave a link to Futhark Records. And if you're in the area in Toronto, you got to stop by and check it out. It's definitely worth, if you're anywhere near Toronto, it's worth a drive to check this place out. I'm hoping he sticks around because I can only imagine he'll just get bigger, because he's getting in stuff that you can only order in online and you have no access to at any other store. So if only I could have shown you the other stuff that really is hard to get, that I was drooling over, but I'd have to take another mortgage out on my house, so we'll go bit by bit, but I will be back there, definitely. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll check you guys next time. See ya.